So here we go. 9th versus 11th at Villa Park, and with the pressure off, we can expect to be entertained. Aston Villa have scored more goals than all the clubs outside the top 5, but they can't keep them out. 1 win in 7 for them, and 1 in 6 for West Ham. A big one, though, last weekend, which more or less ensured they'd be staying up. A status since confirmed by Leicester City's results. Only Manchester City matches have seen more goals than those of Aston Villa this season. Meetings between these two. Average 3 per game. And, ahead of the game here, you may just be able to see there a couple of commemorative frames for an Aston Villa pair. One in the lineup, one not. The one that is in the lineup, Noel Maritz, has recently passed 100 appearances in the BWSL. The same for Ellie Roebuck, who's back on the bench again today. Well, more on Ellie Roebuck shortly. Villa have been without various options for various reasons, but lots are back on the bench. More of them a little later. The swapping of keepers, though, does continue. D'Angelo is back today, wearing the armband. A bit of a reshuffle at the back, because Anna Patton, for once, is missing. So too Chastity Grant, Hijikata and Salmon are the two coming in. Up top, Kirsty Hansen is having a great season. Speaking of up top, no Shakira for West Ham today. That's a big blow. The top scorer is replaced in that attack by Leila Vanderler. A changing goal for the guests as well. The well-travelled Megan Walsh in for the absent Chemic. And those are the only 2 alterations from the starters against Liverpool. Part of that defensive reshuffle today will be Noel Maritz, who's happy to play on either flank. Formerly of Arsenal, I wonder if she could mark the century with a first WSL goal. Incredibly, that still hasn't happened. In a day of swapping keepers. Megan Walsh in for Chemic for West Ham today. Emma Byrne is with me. Well, a lot of change in the keeping department, Emma, and it's not necessarily, in theory, a day for incoming keepers, given the defensive records of these two. What do you reckon?
Oh, it's always difficult, isn't it, to change your keepers, and just to, you know, it's not being consistent, and which is really important, but it is a moment that perhaps managers want to give their subs, their finishers on the bench a little chance, and it's probably the game to do that. And Megan Walsh has got enough experience to go in there, even though she's only played 3 games in the BWSL. And then, of course, in the opposition side, I thought it was a bit strange, to be honest, Ellie Roebuck not starting. I thought she's been doing well, but still on that journey to reach her most potential. So a little bit of a strange one for me, Ben.
A dozen goals this season for Kirsty Hansen, including 2 in that crazy game, their last outing at the end of March, which is a very strange thing to say when we're now in May. It's almost like an off-season. That game against Chelsea, they were in front. They ended up losing 4-3. Natalia Arroyo's team have been a great team to watch, not always for the best reasons, but Hansen's going to get them going here. The reverse fixture brought a rare clean sheet for Aston Villa. They won 2-0. They could, if they have a good finish, Villa, although they do have Arsenal next, they could get as high as 6th. They've obviously been lower than that most of the time. Two top keepers at the club. It's never going to be easy for Ellie Roebuck coming back. She's played less than D'Angelo. Early ball in towards Asai.
It's a decent start, isn't it, for West Ham? Just getting those early crosses in, which is something that every manager is intent to do. It's well defended in the end.
Well, that reshuffle, we were wondering beforehand, it looks like Deland has gone left and that Maritz has come into centre-back. Wilm's staying at right.
Yeah, we were wondering, weren't we, because of Anna Patton's absence, who is very, very consistent. What exactly was going to happen there? Still trying to look at that. Anna Patton is a huge miss here for Aston Villa. And then also to change up the goalkeeping as well. It's always something to be careful of.
It's not necessarily ideal if you have been conceding a fair few to chop and change it like that. Offside flag up there. Yes, Anna Patton. Most minutes of anyone in the Villa squad again this season. Started all but one last term. Just an absolute fixture. Having been initially a while back a loanee from Arsenal, but long since made permanent. Can't really gauge form when you haven't played for 5 weeks. It's such a long layoff. Say winning it back for West Ham. Cascarino across to Nystrom. And here's Megan Walsh. Midlands girl. Was a youth teamer with Villa way back when. But has played for a lot of clubs since.
Yeah, we usually see Kinga, the Polish goalkeeper, in there. Megan Walsh hasn't really had many chances. This will be really, really good for her. She's a very, very good keeper. And actually a bit of a luxury for West Ham to have 2 really good goalkeepers to be able to choose from.
Unless my eyes are deceiving me, Miri Taylor is filling in at the back today. That is a curveball. They were keeping their cards close to their chest. Had a kick-off here.
I thought Miri Taylor was excellent in midfield for them. She's very, very good on the ball. It is a game to test these things out. Bringing in Lucia Kendall in there. Glad to see her getting more minutes. I think she's an excellent player, excellent prospect.
Teaser of a ball that from Katie Zellum, who played for coach Rita Guarino for 1 season at Juventus, where Guarino did such good work. Title winner all 4 seasons. Then to Inter, and then a bit of time off, and now having a go in the BWSL for the first time. In comes the Say corner, a little deep.
Yeah, just went over everyone there, didn't it? It just seems West Ham are applying the pressure a little bit more than Aston Villa would like. At these moments here now, if they can break, create quick transitions.
Nice one here, the Arsenal loanee. Was eased in with a few substitute appearances, Jenna Nice-Swanger, but now started 4 in a row. So she's got what she came for, regular football.
Yeah, and playing a lot higher than we're used to seeing her. She's on the right-hand side here, but that's just from the corner. She'll make her way back over to the left, nearly playing more of a winger in this game.
Yeah, it looks that way. Really shaking things up. Arroyo here, the team coming forward for the first time. But Ebony Salmon ran out of room.
Another really, really good prospect. Such a powerful runner. As you said, just ran it out there, not enough space. But definitely a problem for defenders when in a 1v1 situation.
Oh yeah, Jean-Francois with the cross. Fish out of water there on the flank. Very much a central midfielder, and like Nice-Swanger, another one who's made the move to get more regular game time, although hers permanent, from Chelsea. Here's Lynn Vilms. Nijakata. Kendall. Well watched and cut out by Tenebo. And sliced out by Megan Walsh.
Originally some nice play from Aston Villa. See Kendall just rotating out into this right-hand flank. Just not the best of balls in the end from her, but good position from Villa.
Mary Taylor's going to leave it. In swinger from Nice-Swanger, maybe.
Yeah, very possibly. Though Lynn Vilms is so good on the ball and set pieces, you might want to just pop it in behind that back line of West Ham.
Trying something clever, nice idea, Ebony Salmon. Doing her best to catch out Megan Walsh down low at a near post. Smart manoeuvre.
Yeah, it was clever.
And so was that from Kirsty Hansen. In from Salmon. Jean-Francois with the layback, handball, say the home fans.
Yeah, Aston Villa obviously recognised a weak point in the West Ham setup. Well played, nearly worked. Megan Walsh did well just to cover her front post also.
Belumu, calmly done. Taylor strong in winning it back. Lucia Kendall had a good first WSL year, during which there's been the first England call-up. Jean-Francois. Here's Mary Taylor, centre-back. Delon teasing it forward for Nice-Swanger. Nicely done. Just too high for Ebony Salmon in the middle. Aston Villa have woken up into this game in these last few minutes.
They have, definitely. When you've got a player like Kirsty Hansen on your team, there's always a threat. What an incredible season she's been having. And Nice-Swanger just picking up some really nice spaces there. A little bit higher up, just puts it onto her weaker foot. Delivers a really nice ball, and just looking at that free kick again from Vilms. Just recognising that gap in the West Ham defence.
This has taken them a few minutes, but now they're completely dominating possession. Out by Cascarino, but it's coming back. Sharp into the challenge. Villa winning it high. Good hold up, Ueki. Proper number 9 stuff.
She's a great player, Ueki. Definitely hasn't been firing from all cylinders, has she, in terms of scoring?
No, and that's been their issue in general. Just the 1 league goal for Nico Ueki, just 2 for SAE. The absent Shakira Martinez has got 10 in all, but only 6 of them in the league, 4 in the cups. 17 goals is in keeping with their position. It is the 2nd lowest tally in the division. Definitely better in the second half of the season, but there was a lot of room for improvement, obviously, after losing 7 in a row to start with 5 shutouts. Tenebo. Back to Zellum. It's a comfortable grab.
Yeah, it's just floated in from Zellum. Nice and easy for D'Angelo. She does well, defenders do well to protect her around her.
Rhian Skinner, who did a lot of good things at this football club, but at the end couldn't get it right on the field. Departed in December, pretty much the midway point. Had 1 win in 11 at the halfway point. Beat a struggling Everton side in November, that was it. So Guarino came in after the 5-1 defeat to City, and her first game was a 5-0 defeat to Chelsea. Punishing stuff.
A difficult time to come in, isn't it, in between those 2 games? But yeah, it's been really difficult for West Ham. I think there were moments in the season where they looked really good and looked like they were going to step on, because they certainly have the players to do that. They've got a good team. Unfortunately for them, the squad probably isn't as strong as they would like it, and any kind of injury, they've really suffered, haven't they? So you have to feel a little bit for Rhian Skinner in those terms.
Katie Zellum's already won here this season. Did so for London City. Hansen just showing the strength there to shrug off the Nystrom challenge. Five wins from the 11 in this league against West Ham for Aston Villa. Oddly, only 1 in the home fixture. All the rest have come away. West Ham have beaten Villa twice only in the league meetings, but both of them in this away fixture. For what that's worth today, I'm not sure, but that's the head-to-head. Here's Cascarino, known to the coach from the Italian game, in on loan from Juventus in January, as any coach would like to do. They can't always do it, but Guarino coming in at the halfway point just before a transfer window at least gave her that opportunity, Emma.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's really important. It's very, very important as a new manager to bring in players they trust, they know, you know, help, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch as well. And it was good timing. Cascarino is a quality player. International for France. Not a main starter, but certainly gets minutes.
Little touch from Kendall. No, Swanger joining in with the attack. That extra licence today. Here she is again. And again. Holding off there, West Ham. Seem more concerned with closing down Lucia Kendall when she's on the ball. And I'm sure they've been a little surprised by the way Villa have lined up here. Well, that was late. Mijikata mistimed that one. And the yellow card is out from Lisa Bent.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised just how low down West Ham are defending. Yeah, it was late for Mijikata, wasn't it? But they're very, very low. They're in this low block, allowing Villa to play and come into their shape. Probably trying to catch them on the transition or on the counter. When you've got a player like Viv Asai, probably would play that way. She's so quick, but there's certain points that you have to put pressure on. And those triggers aren't being read. Just allowing Villa to come into the game.
Cascarina going long. Decent take from Vandela. Looking for that same ball again here. Too much on it.
Difficult ball. Difficult ball from centre-back to go straight. Ball over the top, especially when Villa's back line are dropping deep already. It needs an extra pass there.
Up the line from Delande. Oh, beautiful pass. Ebony Salmon onside here. Brilliant double stop. It might not be enough. Lynn Vilms. Wow. Treble chance for Aston Villa in the space of 5 seconds. Superb from Megan Walsh.
Absolutely brilliant saves, aren't they? Really, really difficult ones at that. It was a lovely threaded ball into Ebony Salmon. And it's a great save. I'm not even going to say she should have scored because it's just a brilliant save. And then that defending, I think it was from Belumu, from Vilms. Brilliant, brilliant defending from West Ham.
Vilms with the cross now. Her only Villa WSL goal came against West Ham in the win earlier this season. It's another good bit of defending. First from Cascarino, but then a heavy touch, and here's Vilms again. And Villa looking dangerous again. In towards Hansen, whose great work actually started that counter in the first place on the left wing.
It's a great defensive tackle as well from Nystrom. Vilms has a look up, a little bit of a slow pass in. But applauds for the defending here. What a brilliant double save from Megan Walsh.
Well, that's what you will work on a lot, isn't it? Goalkeepers making the save, getting up, making another. Something I've seen a lot at training grounds, just doing it endlessly. Save, get up, save, get up, save. Knackering, I'd imagine.
Wow, exhausting, exhausting. But that's exactly it. All those training sessions, and Megan Walsh is a professional. For someone not to have played so many games and have to turn up every day in training and still work, and that's exactly where you reap the rewards. Brilliant top-hand save from her.
Not first choice with West Ham, but has been in her time. Everton, Notts County, Yeovil, Bristol. Played a lot. For a lot. And Jean-Francois. We're 20 minutes into an Aston Villa game and there hasn't been a goal yet. And that was nice one, who's enjoying this rather more free attacking role so far.
Yeah, absolutely. You just look here, Vilms just puts that ball into that area. It's good defending in the end by Tuva Hansen, just blocking.
Their team looking dangerous. And they've won only one of their last 7 league games, Villa, but they have scored 11 times across those 7 matches. But as we all know, at any level of football, you can't be having to score 3 and 4 to win a match.
No, that's what it was about, isn't it? Their defensive record and conceding goals, which they'll be very disappointed with, obviously. You know, Spanish coaches are renowned for their attacking style football. But BWSL requires a lot of good defensive work as well. I think that's shown in Villa, where they're lacking.
Yeah, it was a struggle for them last year. Oddly enough, they actually started quite tight this season. Within a few weeks, they already had more clean sheets than they had last season, but certainly not since, well, after a few weeks. But basically, it started with a 3-3 ding-dong chaotic match here against Everton, and they've conceded quite a lot since. But they do score well. You can see that attacking intent for sure. The throw's gone over Mary Taylor, but Jean-Francois, aware of the danger, covering in behind.
I think she's settled in nicely as well, Jean-Francois, hasn't she? At the start, I wasn't sure. The question marks were still there, whether she was at the level. And I think she settled in really nicely as that kind of defensive midfielder, and you just saw a glimpse of it there, how well she recovers in. And it's something that probably Villa have been missing. She's definitely growing into. It does take a while for players to settle into this league and the level that it's at, physically and tactically.
Delande. Often her and Anna Patton as the back two. Not today. Neither of them. Good ball, nice weight on it from Salmon to find Wilms, who's increasingly getting up this flank. She's been a great supply line for Kirsty Hansen in particular.
You speak of centre-half pairing, and that's another reason why I was a bit surprised to see Delande's out on the left side, because when you've got one Stonewall defender out, you kind of try and keep them together, like who's been there to try and keep it calm, keep consistent. But no, change one, change them all.
Well, the return ball there from Kirsty Hansen. Nice swung, it couldn't get on the end of it because of the Vandela challenge here. Not sure how much she knew about it, but it's been given.
I would have said it was a good block. But you're right, she'd have back to Nice-Wonger.
Didn't get away with it. One of those, maybe. Make it look like I don't know what I'm doing when I know exactly what I'm doing. Another chance. Again,
Nice-Wonger involved. Certainly something that we might see more of. Perhaps next season, a little bit higher.
Wilms. Too close to Walsh.
Yeah, Walsh again does well to keep it safe. But it could have worked nicely. Just looking at the West Ham back line and their drop, just allowing Aston Villa players to get in between them, which is always dangerous in that type of setup.
Una Siren out the way in the nick of time. Katie Zellem's pass through the legs. Nystrom. Tuva Hansen. Gets back with the block there before Villa can play around them.
You see, I say they're just taking up a more central role. They go into a two-striker formation. I'm so used to seeing her on the left-hand side, and she does so well out there. Well, there's a big player that Villa have been missing, right? Rachel Daly.
Yes, nearly 4 months out. Back on the bench today. Gabby Nunes, who hasn't played all season, is on the bench as well. Younger players, Georgia Mullet, Rachel Maltby, they've also been out lately. They're back on the bench today, but yes, Rachel Daly scored last time she played and hasn't played since. It was the 2-1 win against Brighton back in January. Deland on the charge. Katie Zellem with a stand-up challenge and quickly looking to release Viviane Say.
It's a great run from Deland from left back. Just carried it too much. We've just seen there from West Ham exactly their intent. Katie Zellem getting on the ball and straight away trying to hit it over for Asai in behind. It's well dealt with in the end, and good starting position from D'Angelo.
Calmly done. Until that, which was the opposite of that. She was already apologising to her keeper, and Aurélien Jean-François has then stuck it out of play. It's a freebie high up on the left for Balumu.
This was really good play from D'Angelo, trying to get out of that press. It's Denebo that had carried on to try and press the goalkeeper, and D'Angelo found François really, really well. They could have had a break on.
Very neatly tidied up there. Lucia Kendall. D'Angelo going longer this time. They lost the first 7 matches this season, West Ham. In the league, that is. Punctuated by League Cup victories that I guess would have slightly lightened the mood, but to give that kind of head start to everybody else, I mean, that's a third of the season. Of course, it's going to be slightly longer, thankfully, with an expanded league next term. About time too. 22's never been enough.
No, and especially with the levels of the teams that are in the BWSL 2 now, capable of getting promoted and sustainable to stay up. So there's huge talent, and you can definitely extend it when teams are at the level, whereas before perhaps that might not have been the case. It certainly is now.
Amazing end to the second tier season, where you had 3 clubs separated by a point going into those final games, and 2 of them playing each other. Congratulations to Birmingham and Palace. Birmingham beating Charlton to go above them and condemn Charlton to this all-new, incredibly tense, exciting, as long as you're not playing in it, playoff. Salmon, big chance. She's had a few this term to score far more than she has, Ebony Salmon. Only 2 league goals and 1 in the cup.
Yeah, struggles to get, definitely to start anyway. It's difficult for a young player. Get your head around that, and then to be able to perform when you do have the opportunity.
Half an hour played. Home fans hopeful from a rare corner. They're hanging back here, the Hammers mostly. Salmon and now Deland going close to Megan Walsh. What's the plan? They tried a neat little manoeuvre from a free kick earlier on. No, now they've made their move anyway. It's a standard packed 6-yard box for the Lynn Vilms delivery. Oh, it's deep. It's way too deep and too bendy and a waste.
Yeah, it's always difficult when you're trying to put it right in there on top of the keeper. And you could see them crowding around Megan Walsh. Normally so reliable, Lynn Vilms, set pieces. But it is the difference of a few centimetres of being an absolutely brilliant corner.
Excellent tracking back, Ebony Salmon. There's a little look there from referee Lisa Ben. Wanted a bit of assistance as to which way it should go. Ueki has scrapped very well here. Oh, and a huge deflection. Big chance. How's that not gone in? They're screaming for handball. Vandela on the rebound. Well, we've come so close to a goal at both ends. We've actually had one at neither.
Oh, and it's Ueki initially. Surprised she had that much time and space in the box when she did go past Miri Taylor. There wasn't enough support there. And then just to get that deflection, but I'd have to look at Vandela. She has to hit that first time, doesn't she? That touch just allows the Aston Villa defence to come across.
Here she is again, Vandela. In behind the underlapping run of Tuva Hansen. Nice swanger on the cover. Tough one to take for a save. Physicality has seen her get the better there of Miri Taylor, and she's got the pass off. Really well done. Vandela, suddenly claret and blue everywhere in front of her. Not the West Ham kind, I hasten to add. But that was a wall, and there was nowhere to go. And I think she's going to get booked now. That's as blatant as they come.
I was going to say it's the most obvious yellow. And the place she does it, she literally has to run across the referee. But just look how calm Kendall is there, driving with the ball. She wants to be careful, Vandela, because it's the second one. Oh, just look how close Ueki was there. Again, strength. Miri Taylor struggling. Just takes the shot, gets a deflection off.
But she's got to hit it first time.
She definitely does. You can see there, Marit's just getting something. She needs to hit it right there.
It does hit the arm of Oceane Delon, but I mean, she hadn't sort of stuck it out, had she? Maybe half a shout for a penalty there, maybe, but
it's an out.
There's a bit of elbow sticking out, but not the rest of the arm.
If that went to VAR, it would have been a penalty.
I think it probably would, yeah. Sure that'll come soon enough to, well, to the pleasure of some and the dismay of others. Hijikata. Taylor will be relieved. Having lost Ueki, it's suddenly space for, of all people, Kirsty Hansen up the middle as well. And that's good backtracking, but it's fallen for Hijikata, then it's hacked out by Hansen. It's a scrappy little exchange there. We've got 10 minutes to go in this first half. And nobody would have had 0-0, I don't think, ahead of this one.
It's good play from Aston Villa to find Kirsty Hansen. You see the back line of West Ham. They don't want to follow Hansen dropping in there, just in behind West Ham midfield.
Wilms again. That delivery only just too much on it this time. Hansen's gone to fetch. Delande. Awkward ball to deal with. And you probably need more contact than that, Lynn Wilms. I don't know. Get another look in a minute.
I'm not sure, because...
You saying penalty?
Well, it's just because SE was caught wrong side, and it's actually Balumu who should have dealt with it, who doesn't. It was one of those situations where, why go down if you're in that position?
Because footballers do now. But no, I take your point. If it's a mid-air bump and it's knocked you off balance, that should have been as well. Maybe both have a case that they could have had a penalty here. Nice swung up. Having a go there. Jean-Francois. Well, that ball was on. Lynn Wilms is playing more like a right winger now. Ebony Salmon riding the challenge of Asai. And here's the thing. If she'd gone down there, she probably would have got a free kick.
Listen, you're right. It's poor decision-making from Salmon. She needs to play that. If you see your full-back making an underlap, you've got to play that ball. You just... No. Oh, we're not saying that's a penalty. From behind.
That's not enough. I'm glad you weren't a referee.
I don't know. I think she got caught positionally, and hands were up.
She definitely got caught positionally. There's no doubt about that. But she was really looking for it, Lynn Wilms. Doesn't mean it wasn't. Could both have had a penalty. Could both have had a goal. Neither has happened.
Yeah, they're playing a lot of backwards passing, aren't they, Aston Villa? And it's the same when they'd won it higher up. I think it was Nishikata just getting on the ball. I understand trying to keep possession, but sometimes you've got to turn the screw and play the ball forward.
Well, sometimes stats can be a little misleading. No shots on target for West Ham because the post doesn't count as one, nor does a blocked effort that was goal-bound like that rebound was from Vanderlei. Salmon, who's had the big one-on-one. She's won another corner.
Yeah, it's definitely something you try to do if you've got Ebony Salmon on the pitch, is try and get her in 1v1 situations. But I think Baluma's doing a really nice job, to be honest, because we haven't really seen Salmon getting on the ball and really going to the end line, getting any crosses in.
Nice swung up. Great ball. Unbelievable that no one gets a touch. That's a cracking corner.
It is. It's a great ball driven across. Really nice height. It's exactly where you'd want that ball to go. Again, it's Wilms. I'm not sure they really believed they could get on the end of that. Went a little bit early as well.
And to the same spot. If someone had been loitering, that's a great delivery. Flat with a bit of bend and real pace. Ines Balumu, first season as a Hammer. Good experience elsewhere. Malmo, Lazio, Bayern for a bit. And a regular, actually, with Villa's Société Delande at Montpellier once upon a time. She is the recipient of that pass, just via the head of Uweki from Miri Taylor. Got away with that one.
Let's see West Ham just creeping up a little bit, applying a bit more pressure. that's the moment where you should be pressing aggressively. That ball goes back there, right on the edge of the pitch. No, not many options. So when you go as a team, be aggressive about it.
Well, they're saying off, 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 and it was Vandela.
She does have to be careful, doesn't she?
And that on its own certainly wasn't a yellow card offence. It was a foul, absolutely. Brought into the side today, doesn't want to leave early. Came on a free from Lyon last summer. Not a regular there. Got to be a world beater to be that.
You want your players to be aggressive, and I'm sure Garino is one of those managers, being Italian and that. But there's also a thin line. You can't be giving away free kicks. It just stops the momentum as well. Unless you want to stop the momentum, of course.
Well, West Ham managed a clean sheet at Liverpool last time out. One at home to Man U recently as well, and those are the only 2 clean sheets in this league season. So they certainly don't expect them. They hope for them, but they don't expect.
Well, they have been getting some interesting results, haven't they? With the, well, Liverpool beat them 1-0. But to draw with Manchester United 0-0, London City Lionesses 0-0, although having said that, if you'd said at the start of the season that would have been a poor result for them, 1-1 with London City.
Salmon on the drive, deep cross. Hansen met it.
The balls into the box are certainly effective, aren't they? And this time it's come down the right-hand side of Aston Villa, and that player, I was saying, needed to get more balls into the box is Salmon, and she does really well there. Nobody on the back post. This is where you want nice Wonger. Probably not her best attributes, but getting in on that back post.
Only 1 goal for Lucia Kendall in Villa colours since joining from Southampton. Scored a few for them down the levels.
Yeah, she was excellent for Southampton. I worked with her. Went to Southampton to help them out a little bit and worked with Lucia. She was just coming back from injury, but what a player she was. Huge potential. Right from the off, you could see that. And just a great person, which always helps.
Here she is. Always destined for WSL then, you think?
Oh, absolutely.
And now an England international.
I was waiting for my big move, and I was going to go in, sweep, and just take her away, but they got in there before me, Aston Villa.
Ueki. Nice switch of pace. Good ball as well in towards Asai. And Una Siren had gone and joined the attack there as well.
Yeah, they definitely had numbers up there. You speak about Ueki and probably lacking goals this season, but if you actually look how she's playing, which is a lot deeper than what a 9 should be playing, she's definitely the one that helps in the build-up and creation. You can see here how deep she is outside the box. You really want her in there, in that position. But Asai is in there and does really well to get anything on it.
It's been a half territorially dominated by Villa, but West Ham have had their own little punctuating moments that have nearly become something. Across on the cover, Estelle Cascarino.
And needed it. I have a feeling if Hansen was just in that foot race with Nystrom, she probably would have won.
Tuva Hansen there, one of the 2 new Norwegians that were brought in by the new coach in the recent window.
1 minute added time.
As we go into the one and only added minute at the end of this. Ueki's got the better of Maritz there on the bounce. And well played, Ocean Delande.
Absolutely brilliant tackle from Delande. What a recovery that is. See there, she sniffs out the danger. It's a great tackle.
I think sniff's the perfect word there. There's a chance on that bounce that maybe a colleague gets done. I'll go round the back just in case, and sure enough it happens. Everyone needs a mate like that. And that is that for the first half at Villa Park. The standout moment, a double save of some excellence from Megan Walsh to keep out Ebony Salmon. The rebound was blocked as well, and that was the case at the other end after Rico Ueki's deflected shot hit the post, with Vandela there, who has been carded. Very, very nearly putting the Hammers in front. But a game that promised goals hasn't produced one, not just yet. And at half-time, it is Aston Villa 0, West Ham 0. Who needs to do more of what this half, Emma Byrne?
Well, I think stats show exactly what needs to happen, and you've seen Ueki has got 2 touches in the opposition box, so they do need to get the ball up there to her. I also think that Saï needs to get on the ball a little bit more, whether it's on that left-hand side or in the middle. When they do get the ball to her, she's able to hold it up and she looks dangerous. And then, of course, with Villa, I think they need to start using those opportunities, that balls into the box, using that possession, create more chances, obviously.
D'Angelo a little soft with that clearance. She was largely untroubled in that half. Tuva Hansen looping one in towards her. That's an easy grab. No changes from either coach, just to confirm that. The sunshine has come out, though. There's a change for the second half.
Well, you talk about changes, and it could be the changes that win this game. And Aston Villa's bench looks very, very strong with Rachel Daly, Gabby Nunes. Big players in there that could really come on and change game. Also Georgia Mullet, that young striker, very, very good. Done well coming back from injury.
Yes, they've had a fair bit of involvement, Mullet and Maltby as well. And a few weeks ago, that's why this break has actually been quite handy in getting some players back there. Most of the bench was full of teenagers. Certainly does look more potent now. I'm sure we'll see them, or some of them.
Nothing worse as a goalkeeper and your laces coming undone.
Yeah, potentially more dangerous than it is for Ebony Salmon there, I think. Lynn Wilms, good experience to bring in. Former Wolfsburg player, regular Dutch international.
Great signing. Recently played against the Netherlands with Ireland, and she's a brilliant fullback, and especially when she's allowed to get forward. Excellent balls into the box.
Zellum finding Vandela here. Taking on Delande. Good work. Delande stuck with it. Job done, just about, and away.
It's the same in the first half with Vandela. Just does really well, does some actions really nicely, but then it's just that match sharpness, really, knowing that when we pull it back, you've got to get away from Delande there and try and get the ball in the box.
Nystrom well up, sticking tight to Kirsty Hansen. who's now dropped deeper, and here she is. Space to keep going if she fancies it. And Wilms, the option there, just trying to poke it through that tight underlapping run. But Hansen scrapping away to win it back. That's brilliant. And it's a blatant pull. And letter of the law, that should be a yellow card for Cascarino.
Yeah,
and
should.
it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Very obvious. But initially, from Hansen, again, disappointing with that final ball, and Wilms doing that underlap as we've seen her do in the first half, and then Hansen does really, really well to go and win it back.
Classic moment. Defender gets pulled out and done, and then thinks I'll take the card too. Well, it'll be worth it if they don't concede. So Cascarino joining Vandler in the book. Jakarta for Villa. And it's those same two over it. Wilms and Niswanger, right and left. Innie or outie?
For me, it's the perfect time for the left-footed ball to come in. Just asking a question, Megan Walsh, if they could put that just over that back line drop.
Then you have to wait to see if there's a flick, and that is how it comes in. It drops here for Jean-Francois. Walsh is there. And the closing ranks around her. I think that was Nystrom who just shoveled it away.
It's a really clever free kick. Just with Wilms stepping over it, just makes that West Ham line just drop a little bit earlier. And then it gives you an opportunity to move them. It's a good delivery. See here, they just drop early because of that. It's Zellum who drops in, doesn't get a clearance on it.
That one's a little closer to Walsh. So as a keeper there, the in-swinging one coming at you from the left boot, I guess you got more chance you can get it if it's a fraction over hit, but also you kind of have to wait in case there's a glancing header. The away swinger, not so dangerous, but you can't come for it as much. I mean,
it just depends on the delivery, but yeah, if it's an in-swinger, the momentum, the trajectory is going to bring it onto you, but you have to be very, very brave as a goalkeeper, and you have to be willing to take people out. I don't see as much as it in the modern game, but in general, what goalkeepers are told to do is if the defenders can get there, let them deal with it. But it's a great ball in. Again, it's all about that step over from Wilms, just moving the West Ham back line, and that makes it extra difficult for Megan Walsh to come out because her back line have already encroached on her.
Did you enjoy the chance to clobber centre forwards in
Loved
that regard?
it.
Yeah.
I really miss it.
Here is Niswanger who put that dangerous ball in. That hasn't gone out. Nicely done. Kendall, then Jean-Francois, and then Deland. That's beautiful. Left back to a right wing, Aston Villa. Now, Salmon, no.
It's really, really good play from Aston Villa and shows really positive signs of how they can play and how much better and how much they can improve on things. You can see Kirsty Hansen dropping in. Nystrom does not want to drop in with her, leaving her back line. Get her on the ball. And Ebony Salmon needs to do better there in those situations.
Tuva Hansen back. Megan Walsh forward. And that's Ueki all over. Just scampering around, picking up bits, even if she can't hold it up herself.
No, but again, it's something that West Ham need to do a little bit more of. Can they go higher? Can they get it into their forward players? You just see here, it's a great ball across, isn't it? There's no way any goalkeeper's coming for that. And it's just behind that whole player, which is the most dangerous place you can put it.
Very nearly squeezed it past. You could really see on that angle there, Jean-Francois, kind of off the, like the ribs of Megan Walsh. Has scored once in 8 appearances now since coming from Chelsea. Jean-Francois, it's not really her job in the team, but occasionally go and help out. Certainly wasn't when she played for Chelsea, a more deeper lying player in there.
No, it's that goal dust position, that number 6, that does all that heavy lifting, dirty work, and she does it really well. As I said before, I think she's really improved and grown into this league.
Right on cue and neatly playing it around in there, including her and Kendall again there. And when you move it swiftly, there's a chance for forward runs. Wilms playing it, Salmon onto it. Great pace. How's the delivery? Hansen's in the middle, but so too was Nystrom to get the block in, not for the first time today.
Again, it's really, really nice play. And this time, it's Jenna Neiswanger on that right-hand side, just picking up that number 10 pocket. And what that does, it really troubles the West Ham defenders. Does Nystrom drop in? Does Cascarino drop in? Which they did. Cascarino took a step in. It's good play. Ebony Salmon just going in behind, which is exactly where you want her.
Neiswanger poking it through. I was waiting to see if there might have been a flag there on Hijikata, but no. Nearly, very nearly, her first Aston Villa goal.
Again, it's Neiswanger just picking up those spaces in the pockets, more central. This is Wilms in the previous one, just a lovely little ball over. Ebony Salmon is exactly where you want her. It's what she's so good at, eating up that space, but then that final ball, just not there.
It's a strong run that from Eva Nystrom to make sure she got off to that cut-off angle. Zuweki scrapping away again, but it's broken for Kirsty Hansen, and via Siren, that'll be a Villa corner.
Yeah, again, Ueki dropping in way too deep for me. But you can see Villa just winning it back. Hansen up there, she's on her own, she's on an island, she's looking for players around her, no one near her.
Short corner. Taylor. Well struck, but central.
Yeah, they're just trying to work the edge of the box there. You can see Taylor just trying to get a clean hit in it, but West Ham did well to apply a little bit of pressure.
Has got a couple of goals this season, Mary Taylor. Not while playing in defence, though. How about that? Ambitious or just wayward? Was it meant for Asai? Asai has just given her a ticking off. We're going close down now. As ever, it's Ueki leading that.
It's the final balls, isn't it? It's just letting both teams down, really, but more so West Ham because they're not enjoying the ball that much, and when they do have it, it's really, really important that they create something, and they haven't done that. You speak about Ueki dropping in. She does well to keep the ball, and it's just Asai who's going a little bit higher. It's just not working for them, though.
Space here for Salmon again. Can she find the end product? Cascarino staying tight.
I'm not sure why Lynn Wilms is making these runs, to be quite honest. Every time she's trying to make that inside run, but Salmon's not that type of player to play it. If she's in a 1v1 situation, you're supposed to leave the space for her. And Wilms is making the run and then realising and checking off. She could be that underneath support for Ebony Salmon if needed.
We're approaching the cliche time when coaches tend to turn to their bench for the first time. Gary Morgan amongst those warming up for the Hammers here.
Yeah, it's a good indication, isn't it, when you see who's warming up and how intently they're warming up. And you can see Rachel Daly over there. Be surprised if we don't see her, and Nunez.
Again, Jenna Niswanger in there. This freer role for her. She must have been loving it. She's been all over this pitch, left, right and centre. Sometimes helping out the back, often being a big part of the attack.
Yeah, she's been excellent. I think she's been really, really good. Shows her level on the ball as well. She's got really nice technical ability. But just there in that press as well, you see Niswanger going for it. I think it's a good press, but nobody's coming in behind her. I think it was Delons that ended up going, but ended up pushing on late, just allowing West Ham to play out and around them. It's those moments you really want to push the team on and apply that pressure.
Her problem, of course, Niswanger on the ball again here is Katie McCabe, is to some degree Steph Catley. But at least she's getting some game time on loan.
Though. I did find it strange that there was like no minutes, like very, very few minutes. And I was thinking, well, I couldn't even tell you what she's like. I haven't seen her playing. Obviously, a decent player if Arsenal were to sign her. They've done their scouting, but it's great to see her here, and particularly this game, a little bit higher up, which I would argue is her best position.
She's on the ball permanently and right on cue. She's played a lovely pass here. In for the run of that well-known scampering forward, Noelle Maritz. Look, what's she doing in the inside left channel?
I was checking the numbers there. I had to make sure who it was.
We mentioned having just passed her 100th WSL appearance, Noelle Maritz. She has also just passed 100 WSL games without scoring.
Oh,
not once.
That's why she's up there. I was wondering why Niswanger didn't put it in front of her. She must have looked up and saw it's Maritz to feet.
Films low, awkward. Sometimes a bad one can turn into a good one. I doubt it was meant to be in at that trajectory.
I can't imagine either. Though front post run, she was in front.
Scored twice in the FA Cup for Arsenal. Did Noelle Maritz 5 years ago. But never in this league.
I think we're going to see a few changes. It's time. I feel like it's time. Liven it up a little bit, bring some energy on here.
Yeah, it does feel like it's just drifting a touch, and the West Ham bench is the first where we're going to see some movement, and we're going to see it right now, actually. Half an hour to play.
I think Tenebo, it's time for fresh legs in there with Zellum.
Good spot. And that is exactly what's happening. Katrina Ligori, the Aussie, placing her in there. Tenebo has not affected this game.
No, she hasn't. And, you know, generally in there to take, you know, mark players out of the game, blah, blah, but just seeing on the ball, just the quality wasn't there. And not so surprised to see Vandeleur coming off either. I think she caused threats, but then final ball was poor, wasn't it? Two big players to come on for West Ham, by the way. Could end up being a very impactful.
Fionn Morgan replacing Vandeleur, who had been cautioned and was the one brought in. Morgan would have fancied maybe getting a start, actually, with the news that Shakira Martinez was out, but she's got half an hour to make her mark here instead.
Yeah, quite a similar player to Vandeleur, very pacey. I'd argue probably a little bit more quality in that final ball.
Couple of goals in the Cups and one in the league. Fionn Morgan having come in the last off-season from Bristol City. And there she is. And again, nice touch that from Zellum. Katie Zellum continuing her run into the middle, and Fionn Morgan straight into the action, and with a good ball in there as well. Assay's asking the question about a penalty again. Lynn Films, I think it was, who was tucking her across on her. But straight into it, Fionn Morgan. Good wing play. Drive at the defender and get that ball in.
Yeah, it was a good ball, wasn't it? And that's just not a case of putting good balls in. Now the team can be confident that those balls are going to go in there. They will make the runs, they will get bodies forward. You can see Rachel Daly getting ready to come on as well. Well, there was certainly hands on there. Well, unless there's VAR, you're never going to get those. Advocating VAR.
Sure, Lynn Vilms did a lot there. To a 50-50 here with the newly arrived Gorry. And a very welcome back coming for Aston Villa's number 9.
Yeah, I think we'll see Salmon coming off there and perhaps Hansen going into the wider areas.
Kendall. I was hoping to see a little more influence from Kendall today. Maybe she can make that happen here. Such a talented player. Well, next best thing there. She's won a corner.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the way Aston Villa play, they don't generally go centrally. They try to play it out into the wide areas with Neiswanger and Salmon, who are good in 1v1s. Midfielders generally wouldn't be a part of the build-up, so to speak.
Hijikata off. Daly on. One of this league's finer forwards for a long time, and indeed the country's best left-backs.
That's what you want, versatility. But to have the captain back on the pitch, I mean, mentally is a huge, huge boost. It'll be just interesting to see where she is on what position.
Presumably for now, Salmon wide right, Hansen maybe from the left and Daly through the middle. We'll see. No, certainly can't tell from a corner. They'll have another one. Tuva Hansen heading it behind. Four goals this term, 3 of them in this division, 1 in the cup. Previously top scorer, player of the year in 3 seasons running with Villa. Nice swung up. Oh, it's good. And Megan Walsh got underneath that.
No, she did really, really well because she's being put under pressure by Salmon. And you can see here how much pressure she's been put under. I'm not sure she got much on it, but she did enough to make sure nobody else got anything on it.
Well, Lynn Films has had plenty of practice doing something she generally does very well. If there's anything of that ball overhanging, I'd like to see a close-up. That's right into the mix. Ueki got a bit of it. Kirsty Hansen is on to it. Miri Taylor will get it. Here she is.
Ueki did really, really well there. She's just in that front zone area, which is where you want strong headers. We haven't seen her in the opposite end, though, have we? Trying to get her head on the ball.
Salmon, flag's going to go up on her here.
Yeah, so Salmon's just playing in that 9 position, but it is something that she needs to watch. It's the offside. She just get caught in that a lot. She's gone back out right. Just allows Hansen to go left in place of Jikata.
Nystrom to Walsh, the busier of the two keepers, but they neither have been super busy. A couple of standout moments. Back-to-back wins would be something for West Ham if they can pinch it here in the final quarter. West Ham finish against Manchester City, who might yet still need a win to be sure, depending on how relentless Arsenal can be with their winning and goal scoring between now and then. Final day.
I think they're going to need a win. I mean, that performance the weekend would just motivate Arsenal anyway. So it's probably not the best time to be playing Manchester City. So they want to get 3 points. Now's the time to do it.
Wilms, Cascarino defends it well. Yes, Villa have got Arsenal next, and West Ham have got City on the final day. And that's a little on the short side. Delande to Hansen. Jean-Francois.
Neither team moving the ball particularly rapidly, just allowing West Ham to sit there, and unless you're going to move the ball quickly and switch it and pop it in and out, they're not going to have to work that hard.
Kendall trying to make something happen. That was a lovely weight of pass. Ebony Salmon. Kirsty Hansen is down, and it'll be yet another Aston Villa corner as we go into the final 20 minutes here.
It's a great ball from Kendall, isn't it? Again, trying to find Salmon in a 1v1 situation. Cascarino struggling to keep up with her. It's a really good ball across. Just nobody there when you want your three players, front post, penalty spot, back post. Penalty spot was missing.
Nice one again. Walsh up again and got a little piece of it. Enough, just.
Yeah, just about enough. But I'm just looking at Aston Villa and how they're set up. They've two Crowd and Megan Walsh in goal, one front post, and then the rest are too far away. If they're going to crowd it, get the players in there, because the whole reason to do that is so you can put the goalkeeper off and perhaps elicit a mistake or a poor clearance, but then they've no players in there to pick up the seconds.
No foul by Jean-Francois, and Salmon is quick, but not quick enough there to get around Belumu.
I think Belumu's had a good game as well. Haven't really said her name much in the second half. The first half she was really influential. See there, Megan Walsh getting something on it.
Foul by Siren. Got there just after Ebony Salmon by the looks of it. Well, she was in the way. Don't know if she stuck the foot up or not, but anyway, free kick's been given. Can they get Rachel Daly involved?
Interesting to see Rachel Daly dropping deep as well. Well, we've seen that part of her game definitely come in the last couple of seasons.
That's a good ball. Daly's interested now as Nyswanger tries to poke it forward for her. Cascarino following Villa's skipper all the way.
It's just that final ball again, isn't it? They do so many things well, particularly with Nyswanger picking up those positions, really throwing West Ham off, but then it's that final ball into Rachel Daly.
Ocean Delande. She got lucky here. I don't think she's going to be carded. She knew what she was doing.
I think it did warrant a card, to be honest. Especially, like, particularly the referee's going to play against really quick players like Morgan.
I mean, she's gone there. She's running into green grass.
Absolutely.
That's got to be a caution, really.
I wonder, do referees actually look at that, the player, if they're a slower player, or they'd be like, look, you were never going to get there anyway?
I suspect not. That would imply a degree of humanity and common sense. I'm joking, of course. Here's Kirsty Hansen. Kendall keeps it moving. The slicker stuff, when it has come from Villa, but only up to a point by and large. Certainly the better football. Greater invention. But does it have something on the end of it? Not here, it doesn't.
I'm quite liking these forward runs from Maritz, because she does look like the player that's trying to move the ball with a bit of urgency. When you're playing against a team who drop off in this low block, it could take a defender to create the numbers up, which is what's happening.
Yeah, that curveball, because everyone may be picking someone else up, and suddenly she comes out of nowhere, and you're like, well, who's dealing with her? Nobody. And maybe that's it. She'll have to pass it, though, because as we know, she doesn't score goals. Here's Films. Clip. Oh, the flag's up on Daly. I reckon that was closer than it looked. She didn't put it away anyway, and she tried.
I think she knew. You can see that flag going up in the corner of your eye. Yeah, she is just slightly offside.
There she is again, Villa's all-time top WSL scorer.
I tell you what, though, if Aston Villa could be a little bit more clinical and a little bit more precise in their final ball in and around the final third, they could definitely be a team that would threaten, because there's so many times they do really well. They do well in the build-up, they do well keeping possession, they do well in wide areas, and then it's just that final ball. It's the same in the first half. If they could be a little bit more careful with that, a very dangerous team.
Well, Asai is down, but play goes on here, and Morgan crosses, and that is awkward. And then the halfway she's had very little to do. Sabrina D'Angelo was at full stretch there.
Yeah, but again, it's a good ball in, a dangerous ball. Once you start putting the ball into those dangerous areas, anything can happen.
Counter could be on here. Although Asai charging back in a hurry.
That's a good battle between those two, isn't it? Look how quick Asai moves and just covers the space. And Vilms knew she was coming because she checked her shoulder. She's trying to get it leave a little bit in there again.
Could hear the thunder rumbling behind, I think. Here's Vilms close down again. And that's been given as a free kick. Now, this was just a little earlier. Viviane Asai, not the first time today she's been down. And what's happened here? That? Oh.
No.
Well,
I'm going to jump on your train and say there's not much in that, is there?
You're not going to get whistles for that. Well, you shouldn't. You can bump into defenders. If we can call Miri Taylor a defender today.
Films taking a breather. I imagine she's fine, but has been caught on the ball a couple of times. Not releasing it early enough.
Serena Pubel is on. Asai's work is done. Another game goes without a goal for her. Just a couple in the league this term. Well down after 6, 6 and 9 in previous campaigns. Viviane Asai.
I mean, we didn't see her enough on the ball, but I still think like she's still got that pace, whether they're just watching the minutes turn to play. She's just so dangerous.
And the lesser spotted Lucy Staniforth, what a fine player over the years, but a limited one over recent years. So many injury issues.
Also one substitution for West Ham United.
Georgia Mullet is on as well. Oriane Jean-Francois has gone off.
That is interesting.
Ebony Salmon off.
Off. Staniford on. Salmon I can understand. Mullet is a very, very different player. She's an out-and-out 9. Is on that right-hand side, which is interesting. I'm not sure I would have taken Asai off though, because I just feel bad feeling for Aston Villa that if West Ham do get a chance, Ueki, Asai, when she was on, very, very clinical.
Lucy Staniforth, first player to play for 7 different WSL clubs, making a forward run there as well, hoping to get on the end of a long-range 1-2.
So it's Sanford who will take a little bit of a higher position, obviously. And then you see a Kendall just dropping into that 6th position.
Here is Kendall. Always looks so neat and tidy on the ball. Nowadays, more than ever, composure in central midfield, receiving it in tight areas like that and doing that first time. So key. It's almost like she knew we were talking about her. Here's nice one at Daly. Was the short pass. And lurking round the back, the longer one was for Georgia Mullet. Balumu puts it out. Corner.
Originally, I didn't think it was a great ball from Niswanger. Good intentions, but not got the legs on it. But then that bounce made it a little bit difficult for Balumu.
In from Niswanger, Walsh got enough on it, and Morgan got a little more away. It's the 9th Villa corner. Daly's going to send it back somewhere, but nowhere dangerous.
No, I'm not sure what the intentions were there. Put a ball back in the box, but again, it's another corner wasted. Putting it into the danger area, into the mix, and then second ball's just being picked off by West Ham.
Well, I don't think play's been waved on as advantage there, and at Lisa Ben with a look across, but wasn't giving it. It looked like a second 50-50 there for Staniforth. You could hear the screams from her challenge, though.
Balumu got up fairly quickly after that.
Almost as if it didn't hurt and she was trying to get her opponent in trouble. Imagine that.
Very cynical.
Tuva Hansen infield. Gorry. Tuva Hansen again. Gorry again. There's the first 50-50.
Well, I think she won the ball, Staniford, but then the next little outstretched leg, but still won the ball.
Taylor. Risky pass there into Lucia Kendall. Not the easiest to take, and Katie Zellem's onto it for West Ham here. It's a soft layoff that from Pubel.
Yeah, I'm going to give her a little bit of benefit of the doubt because probably one of her first touches, but it does sum up some of the play today. I think if you just look at that, 2 shots from West Ham, possession 64 versus 35. I think those stats even surprised me a little bit, but definitely in the second half, Aston Villa were far the superior team. Doesn't mean anything though.
Phil Morgan asking the question and not getting the answer she wanted. Yes, technically still not a shot on target. Even though Vandler was blocked on the rebound from the Ueki one that deflected onto the post in the first half. But yeah, it's been a quiet one for D'Angelo, hasn't it, on her return to the side. She'll probably be quite pleased about that. Had a concussion issue the other day.
Bit of a mixed one there, because you want to be doing something and you want to be helping the team, but also you don't want to be too busy.
His headbang against Liverpool a couple of months back. And she got an injury game 1 of the season, and Ellie Roebuck came in. And Roebuck came in for the 7-3 defeat to Spurs as well. They have flick-flacked a lot. And in-game injuries for keepers, they're not made of such stuff as they used to be, I suspect. Here's Una Siren for West Ham. Fired it in, but what a touch from Ueki! Oh, what a goal from Ueki! 5 minutes to play. They haven't looked like scoring all game long. That is brilliant. The controlling touch to start with was pretty magical. The finish even more so. Aston Villa 0, West Ham 1. Rico Ueki with only her 2nd league goal of the season. Such a hard worker without the finishing product. Well, here she's got it.
Well, it's just that press. It's that press from West Ham. And it's exactly where you want Ueki to be, higher up. And what a touch. Falls onto her left. She has a little look up. And it's a brilliant, brilliant goal from her. And you can nearly feel the sense of relief from her. But that's where you want her, higher up. As a 9, she's so good. She's so clinical. She's actually really good in the air as well for crosses. And we said it. You'd worry for Aston Villa because West Ham have players that are very, very clinical.
Well, she scores well at international level. Starts often and scores for Japan. Asia Cup, a lot of these WSL players, of course, are in that. I think it was 18 of the 22 starters in the final came from the WSL. And Rico Ueki there. It's a gorgeous goal. And this game had begun to drift to 0-0. It didn't feel like it was going to be 0-0 in the first half, but it has done at various junctures in the second. And if anything, you thought maybe it would be Villa that had pinched it. Well, Lucia Kendall and Kirsty Hansen off, Rachel Maltby and Gabby Nunes. Their first appearance of the season, no pressure. 3 minutes and stoppage time to get a goal. Nystrom. Zellem. Her experience will be handy, you'd think, in these closing minutes. Former stalwart Man United captain, just to try and get on it in midfield and keep it calm. Lundvelm's headbang. That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And look at the reaction on the bench as Maltby was about to come on, and Rita Guarino thrilled.
Of course, but you have to feel a little bit for Aston Villa, and not, because they just didn't take their chances. They weren't efficient enough in the final third. I thought they dominated the game. They looked like a better team throughout the game, and this is what happens in football. And if you don't use those chances and you're a little bit complacent in that, teams will punish you. How many corners?
9. I think it was 9-1 last count. Looks like a late smash and grab for Guarino. They're going to be going to within a point of Villa if they hold on to this. If. They're going to be winning this away fixture for the third time. Villa have only won it once. That is at home to West Ham, not always in this stadium.
Well, they soaked up enough of that pressure for enough of that this game. Megan Walsh has done well, hasn't she? Those corners. But Villa will be kicking themselves.
Yeah, and that absolutely sums it up there, that puff out. It says we should have won it, and then you definitely shouldn't be losing it.
I could just feel like that coming into the game, though, getting caught, Wilms getting caught on the ball, not moving the ball quick enough, just, you know, not doing the things right 100%.
7 minutes to find a goal for 1 point, not 3 as they thought. That ball was absolutely fired in at Ueki. That piece of control was stunning. Urgency for the home side. The men beaten on this pitch last night. Big game in the Premier League. Tottenham Hotspur winning a football match, and now the women losing at home to West Ham. Another London visitor. Daly nodding it on. Nothing doing there.
Well, it's all about managing the game for West Ham. And this player here is going to get player of the match from me. And it's difficult because we were talking about her lack of goals, but she's dropping in, she's helping her team so much defensively, dropping in.
And look at that, she's just flicked it on, and this could seal it. Pubel, 2-0. Player of the match performance, all right. A goal and an assist from Ueki. Both of them brilliant. And Serena Pubel has her first WSL goal of the season. And West Ham have an away win confirmed.
Look at their faces. And this is why Ueki does drop in, because she's so good in the air. It's a great assist as well. Just that flick on, it's really, really nice. And obviously Pubel's got to be ready for that. What a finish from her, very calm. Must be her third, fourth touch of the game. Does well. Villa can't allow that to happen, to run in between them, but Ueki, huge performance, and it's not easy when you're without the ball having to work that hard, but you can see by the smile on her face, she doesn't mind.
And she definitely doesn't mind. It's going to be a 4th league win for the new Italian coach, or relatively new. And that goal-shy attack, 17 for the season, has become 19 today.
Oh, I think, in general, it shows their character, doesn't it? Because they're willing to sit back and be without the ball. And then, when they get those precious moments in the game, to take those chances. And for Pubel as well. So calm in that finish.
Really was. Up to Daly. Desperate times now. 2 unanswered goals in 4 minutes. It's surely not going to happen for Villa here. You've absolutely seen, prior to the goal and the assist, you've seen why Ueki will always get picked, even when the goals are down, as they have been this season. Because
absolutely.
She's not big, but she wins tons of balls in the air, and she rats around there, not giving defenders a moment's peace. She knew exactly what that flick was.
Yeah, absolutely, and Ueki's so important, and she doesn't get the plaudits because her role has changed a little bit. When she first came into West Ham, she was scoring goals. She looked incredible, a lot of them in the air as well. And then she was asked to drop in a little bit and be a part of that build. But fantastic player, you can see her now just getting her fuels in, rehydrating on the side. It's been taken off.
And they're not quite as attack-minded. Shalina Zadorsky is on to replace her. Actually had a habit, those goals Emma was just talking about there when she first came and scored, quite a handy habit of scoring them late in games. I can remember a couple of winners, one against Liverpool, well into the 90s, and a late equaliser as well. Well, in the nick of time here, a brilliant goal, and then a really good assist, nicely taken. Bell did score one in the WSL last term, but this is her first league goal of this campaign. Her only other goal this season was in the League Cup, which are the only goals West Ham were scoring, and only games they were winning in the first half of the campaign. It's a scoreline that puts Liverpool down into the bottom two. Lucy Staniforth for Villa. Daly, that could go anywhere. Little bit of pinball and then smacked out. And no question, they've not been brilliant here, Villa, but they will come off. It'll be the old head scratcher. Have we lost that game 2-0?
Yeah, I mean, I think the questions will be asked, and I do think it's been disappointing, and they will be disappointed that the lackluster in the area, in the box, getting into good positions, but then just not being creative enough. Poor decisions, poor balls, poor second balls, and just not that aggression in the opposition box.
Good from Corrie, strong and accurate. Nice from Morgan. She's been good since she came on. Good cameo for Morgan. There she is again. Not sure what the situation is with Shakira Martinez, but if it's Morgan versus Vandela, and the evidence of what we've seen here for that spot, the Welsh should get it over the Swiss. Balloum on the slide, they're nearly there, West Ham. Nearly back-to-back wins with clean sheets. What on earth is going on there? It's
Italian effect, probably. They look like a good team. They look like they can deal with the pressure. And these last 10 minutes, they look like they can compete. And glad to see them climb up the league table a little bit, because they do have a good team and they do have good structure.
Added time on added time. And it's bubbles you can hear being sung about. Nice swung. He's had a really good game today. One of the better individuals out there, I think. Mullet will be pleased to be back involved, but not at the scoreline. Mary Taylor will be looking forward to going back to midfield, I suspect. And we've had a goal and some changes during stoppage time, so that's why we've got a little over. Too much on that one. And that double save early on from Megan Walsh feels very important now, because Villa were well in the ascendancy then.
Huge, massive. It's not really until the game is over that you realise the importance of them, but it was massive, massive.
And the game is over now. And West Ham have won away. And there is the star of the show, Rico Ueki. Not a lot of goals, but a handy habit of late ones. And she got one here before teeing up Pubel for one that was even later. And it is back-to-back victories with clean sheets for West Ham United, who moved to within 1 point of Aston Villa in the Barclays Women's Super League table. So it is not a happy end to this long weekend for Aston Villa. They will have another go against Arsenal, but obviously that'll be pretty difficult. Megan Walsh with a brilliant double stop in the first half.